Welcome campers. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to measure drive shaft and pinion angle on your Jeep XJ along with how to install axle shims. Stay tuned. So this is what I did to measure my drive shaft and pinion angle. So the first thing you want to do is get the down angle of your drive shaft right before it connects to the pinion. So you get an angle finder like this one that I got off Amazon. I like it because it's digital, so it just makes everything a lot easier. But you get this angle on your drive shaft, either up here or right here. Get that angle and write it down. So what I did, since I have a Ford 8.8 rear end, I measured off of the flat spot on the bottom of the diff since it's pretty in line with my pinion angle. If you don't have a Ford 8.8 with the flange and you have a yoke connected to your pinion coming out of your Chrysler 8 1/4 or Dana 35, you could take your angle finder and stick it right to that yoke itself on the bottom, get it lined up perfect, and stick it on the bottom, and you should have an accurate pinion angle. All right, and once you get those two measurements, you're gonna want to figure out the difference. So let's say your drive shaft angle is 16 degrees and your pinion angle is 8 degrees. The difference is -8 degrees. So what you want to do is buy shims that get that pinion angle and that drive shaft angle between 2 and 3 degrees. So since your difference between your drive shaft angle and your pinion angle are 8 degrees, you're going to want to get a 5 or 6 degree shim to get it between those 2 to 3 degree difference. And that's with a XJ with the leaf springs in the rear end. And I will put up the Adams diagram showing and explaining that difference. And I know with the TJ or anything with coils and a 4-link or 3-link in the rear end, it is different, and I will put up a diagram for those right now. Alright you guys, once you get that drive shaft and pinion angle measured and you figure out the difference and what size shims you need, order them up, and then once you get them in the mail, follow these instructions on how to install them. Alright you guys, so far in the process, this is where I'm at. I am just removing the U-bolts. So once I have the U-bolts on each side removed, I will drop the axle down, which will expose the leaf spring, and then that's where we could get to work removing the center bolt so I could bolt on the shims. Alright you guys, so after getting the U-bolts removed and dropping the rear axle, where we're at now is removing this center bolt that's holding the leaf pack together. So I'm gonna put some PB Blaster in each of them and slowly loosen them. And then from there, it'll be time to install the shims. So while I was loosening the bolt that held the center of the leaf pack together, it is under pressure, so just be careful while getting it loose because it will shoot off a little bit at you. All right, so what I did was went to my local Ace Hardware and I got some hardware to bolt the shim to the leaf pack. It'd be a lot easier than trying to drill through every individual leaf since it's extremely hard steel. So that's what I did so far. I got it bolted on there, and from there I got the axle mounted up. These are just finger tight, so I'm going to torque them on there to the 150 foot-pounds and then get it all together. So after you get the axle shims installed, it's time to take it on a test drive and see if you get any drive shaft vibration, accelerating and decelerating. So after installing the shims, we hit the freeway, got up to 65, felt no vibrations. And then as we were getting off the freeway, completely let go of the gas to decelerate, had no vibrations there either. So as long as you follow that -2 to 3 degrees from your pinion to drive shaft angle, you should be good to go. I hope the tips and tricks in this video helped you with getting rid of drive shaft vibrations and shimming your rear axle. And stay tuned for some of our future adventures. Please like and subscribe the video, and have a good one, guys. Bye.